If you're feeling overwhelmed and you're overthinking and the mind's really busy, which a lot of the time prevents us from sleeping, right? These are two practices you can use. They're very simple, but they're very effective. Everyone's time poor, so you don't need to do an hour of yoga, but these are for specific reasons, so this is yoga therapy, a little bit different to a normal just a yoga class. So it's crafted to suit your needs. And the needs for today is to calm the mind, because when the mind calms down, then it has an effect on the body. So we're continuing to use the long exhalation, because what the long exhale does, it makes the mind calm and quiet, and it also releases muscle tension in the body, wherever you might be feeling that. So we're going to start sitting. I'm going to give you the standing adaptation as well soon. So you're going to sit, now I'm sitting on a blanket because that just helps my hips and it helps my back to lift up as tall as I can. I think it's just a little bit more comfortable. And we're going to just come into the room, and when you sit at home, you're just going to sit wherever you are in the office just for a moment. So, we've finished one action, now we're starting a new action, so we want to be present with intent. We're sitting on the mat, perhaps on a blanket, and we start to just come into our bodies, feeling our legs, our torso, our shoulders, our arms, and then, because whatever I teach, it always works with the breath, because that's what unites us, body, breath, mind. And I start to inhale and exhale consciously, so I become aware of that pattern of the breath. Inhale, there's a natural pause for a second, and exhale, pause. So we're really setting up and establishing the correct way to breathe when we're moving. So from here, we're going to start to interlace the fingers and just place them under the chin. Inhaling first, the inhale is going to start to move the arms. Inhale. If this is as far as you can go, that's fine. If you want, you can manage, you can go a little bit further. Exhale. Just be mindful you're not collapsing the spine, it stays upright. Breathe in. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. So we're asking the mind to follow the count. And again. So you'll continue that for another 2 rounds. You do 5 of everything. The next one, we're doing a twist. And once again, you can do this sitting on your heels or sitting on a chair. Bring the hands to the heart. Breathing in, we let the breath move the body. Inhale. Exhale. 1, 2, right hand onto the left knee, left hand, fingertips at the back. Finish your exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Left hand on the knee, right fingertips behind, and you're elevating. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if your breath is a bit quicker, it's going to look like this. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. And that's okay when you're first starting, so don't feel like you have to extend the breath. I've been doing it for a long time, and yoga practitioners have been doing it for a long time. So if you're new to this, just work with your own pace of breath. To finish off the physical part of our practice, we're going to do a forward bend. Some people find this very difficult, particularly because most of us have some sort of issue or tightness in the back because we do so much sitting. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either just sit up nice and tall. Now I'm using a blanket because it helps me to lift up and create space in my back. you're welcome not to use it. So this is one way of doing the pose, so it's not as strong. Either way, even if you do it this way, you need to have the knees bent a little bit, because if I have my legs straight, the pelvis just starts to drop. So we need to tilt forward, lift, 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 knees bent a little. You know, you don't have to bend as much as me. So from here, as we move forward, we're moving from the hips, okay? So tilting the hips. We're not doing it like this because we need the whole pelvis to come along with you, all right? So let's do it. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Let your hands fall either to the shins, wherever you can manage. Now when you come up, I want you to draw down into the heels, breathe in. So the legs take some of the weight coming up. And then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. Now the other variation you can do is to inhale, exhale, slide. And with the sliding, the exhale really extends. Inhale, slide again. Not so strong on the back. And then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So once again, you're going to do that 3 to 5 times. And then, but on the last one, if you're comfortable to do it, you go into your forward bend and we're going to stay there, because as we stay, it just helps the breath to move and also helps the body to release. And just take, you're not counting the breath though, you're just counting 5 breaths. And then sliding up slowly. And exhale. 1, 2, all the way down. And just take a deep breath here to finish. Now we're going to sit for pranayama. So we always finish with pranayama. So that was just the 4 postures that you'll get to know and learn. What we're going to do for pranayama, once again, you can sit any way you like, as long as your spine is long and you're not crouching. So just adjust your posture however you're sitting. Now I find this breathing technique really, really effective, because what happens a lot of time with my students is when they consciously start to breathe and concentrate on their breathing, they tend to suck the tummy in. And that's counteractive to how we're supposed to breathe. So what I do is I ask people to use their finger, the index finger and their middle finger, to the collarbones, the centre of the collarbones. Relaxed elbows, you can tuck the thumbs in. And what you're going to do is feel like you're breathing through there. Of course, you're breathing through the nostrils, but it's almost like these are your nostrils, all right? So you're going to either close the eyes or have them downcast. Breathe into those bones, inhale. And then count the exhale. Breathe, inhale. So don't think about anything else. What's happening here, it will happen for you if you take the attention there. So I recommend 8, even 10 breaths if you can do that. But once again, make sure when you finish any sort of practice that you stop, you come back to your normal breathing So it's always sort of coming home before you get up to do your next action. So the next practice is very much the same, except we're going to do it standing, if that's what you prefer. Okay, so now we're going to do the standing version. Just remembering these are really, really simple, effective practices. They're therapeutic. When we're doing yoga therapy, it's for a specific reason. So we were talking about, reducing stress, overthinking, negative thoughts, and also releasing all the tension in the body. So we're going to start, feet on the floor, and just grounding. So bringing yourself, you've done one action, now we're coming into a new action, so we're going to honour that with intent. So standing, having the toes, balls and heels of the feet firmly placed on the earth. Feel your legs lift, your spine lift. The crown top lift as if to feel like you've arrived somewhere new. And then we'll start with the first posture by bringing the hands and linking them and releasing the chin down like that. Once again, we're going to continue to count the exhalation to soothe the mind. Breathing in. You start to raise the elbows. Now you might only feel comfortable here. You might have neck and shoulder pain. That's fine. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, till you return. And inhale again. You might go a little bit further this time, and you may not, and that's fine. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. Be mindful of your neck. If it's feeling too sore, just lift more through the chest than raising the head. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to do that again 3 to 5 times. You might start with 3 and then build the following week to 5. Listening to your body. This time we're going to step a little bit further apart, once again starting with the hands here with the fingers together. We're going to move into a twist. I call this the wraparound twist. So you breathe in, let the breath move your arms out. Pause. Exhale. You're going to move the body into a twist. One hand on the shoulder, one hand on the lower back. Pause. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. All the way back. Breathing in. Now, if your exhale or your twist isn't that long, you just come to here, maybe 3 seconds to there, maybe, and then eventually the neck will release so you can go into a full twist. Just be mindful you're not swinging the hips. They might move a little bit, but that's fine. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Breathe in. Count your exhale. And a breath. So the more and consistently you ask the mind to follow the breath, it starts to think less and you're able to move into a little bit more stillness and calm. Okay, so the last posture, very simple again, standing, is we're either going to slide down or we're going to reach forward, all right? So it'll once again depend on your back, but both ways we need to exhale and tip from the hips. As soon as you start tipping, you soften the knees, because what tends to happen, unless you're extremely flexible, if you do straight legs, this is what happens, okay? And then you have a lot of pulling into the lower back. As soon as you bend the knees, you free up the back, all right? So we're going to try that. Breathe in. The first one I'll do is the slide. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, all the way. You might just get to here, that's fine. In time, you might get a bit further, but no pressure to go any further than what you're comfortable with. Now to come up, we slide. Inhale brings us up. My spine is rounded, but then I'm going to lengthen it out. Lift up through my fingertips, adjusting my posture. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, etc. till you come down. If you have no back issues and you're happy to do a little bit more of a challenge, you breathe in. Exhale, reach out first. Then my knees soften. See, so I'm not rounding, I'm reaching, but my legs are taking a lot of the weight. And then I'm folding. You can go to the knees, the shins, the feet, the ground, and I am releasing the head. Now, to come up, you can either come up with hands on the lower back, or you can just lift, inhaling, and exhale, 1, 2, 3, till you finish. Always take a nice deep breath. Rest for a breath or two before you move to pranayama. So I hope you enjoy those practices, and remember, once you start to memorize them and you do them every day, see how you go over 2 weeks, because that's when you get the most benefits and value rather than chopping and changing your practice every time. But if there's something else that you need, as I've said before, we're very unique, so we all have different goals, needs. So particularly with our health, we all think differently, we feel differently. Contact us and we can craft you a beautiful practice just for you, either online or face-to-face.